My name is Bubby, and yes, I am tall enough to drink right from the faucet. As soon as I'm finished, I'm going to have my mom shop at petco.com/laugh or use the coupon code LAUGH, where she can save 10% and get free shipping on pet supplies. Like, perhaps, a dog bowl.
Hey Junkies, A. Kovacs here, your Director of Doom, and today for the Friday Fix I have something really cool. It's kind of a holiday treat. Back in August 2010 at DragonCon, Scott read his very first story ever that he ever wrote. He read for the crowd at DragonCon. We recorded it from a handful of angles around the room. It is called Tentacles, Tentacles, and More Tentacles, and as the Dark Overlord Media holiday gift to you, we are sharing it with you today. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys have happy, safe holidays, and see you soon.
What I have for you people today, here, for the first time ever in the history of mankind, we will be reading a story I wrote in Mrs. Reynolds' class in the 4th grade. Aptly titled, and I am not bullshitting you. The name of this is Tentacles, Tentacles, and More Tentacles. At times, there are actual illustrations, not only written by the budding young genius that was Scott Sigler, but by the Picasso-esque genius who drew this U-boat, or this patrol boat getting eaten by tentacles. Thank you very much. They might be Kraken tentacles. Since this is a water-based story, this very well may be the first Kraken story ever written. Here's where the illustrations really get hot. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can come up and I'll check it out later. Yeah. Yeah. Well, apparently this is before I learned reveal the monster later in the book. Because once you've seen this, you kind of know the story. You're all set. The boat drawn here is the Island Queen, spelled I-L-A-N-D, Queen. This is a jet right here, in case you didn't notice. Tentacles, tentacles, and more tentacles. One day on a cruise ship, the passengers were just loafing around when there was a scream. Occasionally I'll do asides, and the aside here is, there's no dicking around here, you know what I'm saying? Paragraph 1, let's rock. Let's get into the gory stuff, right? Everybody ran to the ship's railing. A little girl had fainted. 9 black things were floating on the water, moving very slowly toward the ship. Captain Smith came on deck. He yelled to his radio operator, "Notify the Navy at once." "Yes, sir, Captain Smith," said the radio operator. "2 notches ahead at this speed. I want to stay away from those things until the Navy gets here," said the captain. Now everybody was on this side of the ship, watching the things in the water. Then another yell came from the other side of the ship. Other here is in quotes, and I don't know why. "Look, more tentacles!" screamed a passenger. Except they were hanging over the ship. They were just hanging there, doing nothing. Then the arms fell on the ship and picked it up. People were screaming and falling off the ship, and then, without warning, it broke the ship in 2 and started crushing it until all that was left was boards and pieces of metal and stuff. Then, a Navy ship came and the thing went under the water and disappeared. When the Navy rescued the ship passengers, half of the ones they had rescued were in shock and half of the passengers were still missing. Half and half constitutes all of the passengers. Meanwhile, an hour later in Los Angeles, California, some people were out at Eust having a party when all of a sudden they heard a terrifically loud noise. Kwee! Kwee! It ends with a J. I don't know how to pronounce that. When all of a sudden a big black tentacle lifted about 10 feet above the water and began to swing at the yacht, which apparently is the word that I missed earlier. It was a yacht. It shattered the steering room right off the yacht, killing 2 people. The very first corpses from a Sigler novel. Thank you very much. Missing people are not corpses until they are found. Then another tentacle reached up and got the rest of the people and swam away, leaving only a sinking yacht. Then it started to swim towards the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Then a plane saw it and went down for a closer look. Then, all of a sudden, one of its tentacles reached up and grabbed the plane right out of the sky, never to be seen again. The monster started swimming, except instead of swimming into the Pacific, it started swimming towards Los Angeles. Meanwhile, in LA, Navy headquarters, Lieutenant Hogan, who was monitoring the sonar, said, "Sergeant, I think you had better come over here and see this ship, sir. Apparently, when I'm in the 4th grade, I don't know the hierarchy of military ranks." When the sergeant looked at it, he said, "Get patrol boat 3840 and 3840 out on the double." "Yes, sir," said Hogan. 3840 and 3850 were on their way out when PT boat 504 saw something and said, 504 to 3850 to 3850, come in 3850. Do you read me? This is 3840 and I read you. What is it? Then all of a sudden, a scream came over the radio from PT boat 5040. No, no, ah! Then the captain looked out the window with his binoculars, which apparently I had to look up later because I just left it blank. Saw 2 black tentacles slowly moving toward the PT boat 40. The captain called to PT boat 40. 2 men looked over the side and grabbed by the tip of a tentacle and pulled down into the water. Then the other tentacle reached up and grabbed it right when the ship hit full speed. The monster was taken by surprise, and it didn't have time to tighten its muscles. The boat got 20 feet from where it started, and the black end ripped right off. The front end kept going, but straight down. The thing let go of the back end, and it slowly sank into its icy grave. Then Captain could see a single tentacle floating the water. I just spit on my 4th grade book. A blue substance was floating out of it, and then he saw another trail of blue stuff, and it was heading towards Los Angeles. Creern! Full alert went up at LA Navy headquarters. I didn't know there was one, but there is now. The sergeant set the battleship USS Narwhal and the destroyer USS Whale Shark out to destroy the monster once and for all. When the monster saw the battleship, it was the biggest thing it ever saw. She was still bigger than it. The tentacles were moving faster than ever towards the battleship. The narwhal opened fire on the monster, and 2 shells hit it. It started to bleed again. The monster was furious. It immediately attacked the narwhal, and in 5 minutes, it was gone. We don't know what it refers to, the monster or the ship. The whale ship started dropping mines on it while it was still facing the other way. A cowardly attack from behind. The monster heard noise behind her and turned around so quickly that it caused a big wave going up to the surface that carried the mines right back up to the ship and destroyed it. Now the monster was bleeding more than ever. So it wasted no time in getting to the mainland. It crawled on the bank and started swinging at buildings and houses and destroying everything in reach. Then tanks started shooting at it, and they were in a straught. So in one swing of its tentacles sent them flying. You can imagine what a straught is and how horrifying a straught must be. 10 jets started flying around above it and started shooting at it, trying to distract it. It worked long enough to get a missile carrier in. Then all of a sudden, its tentacles started swinging and then destroying 7 of them. Then the missiles carriers fired a single shot at it. There was an explosion. Then a blue chemical started flowing down the streets. That is apparently the end of part 1. Although I did not put end of part 1. But in true Sigler fashion, we're already working on the sequel. One day, 2 divers were diving in the Pacific Ocean when they saw a cave with a clear substance covering it. It was so thick that they couldn't see through it clearly. But there was a little hole in the corner, so they went in. It was so thick that it took them 2 minutes to get to the other side. When they got in, they looked up and got grabbed by 2 big black tentacles. The end!